Don't get me wrong, Brawl Stars is a fun game, but there's a lot of things that could be added to the game to make it even more fun, or just more enjoyable or less frustrating. And let's be real, some of the best ideas to improve the game come from people who actually play it, aka you all. So we got some of the best ideas from the community to improve Brawl Stars. Oh, and also a big announcement concerning me.
We have breaking news. Reports that Coach Cory and Clash with Shane are joining Space Station Gaming. Incredible stuff. Coach Cory is going to be heading up their Brawl Stars division, and
that's right, I'm joining Space Station Gaming. If you don't know them, they're an esports organization. You might know some of their players which have been on my channel, like Bobby and OG, who both play for them. Great organization. How is this going to affect the channel? Not really going to change that much for you all. Although you will see their logo on my channel and I'll be wearing some of their merch, which is pretty sweet. But otherwise, not much will really change. But yeah, just some exciting news I wanted to share with you all. Now on to the ideas. First idea, what about a new type of wall? That could be cool. Check out this amazing animation by Profabo. Not only did they make a cool idea, but they animated it too. Which is sick. Just like there's minecarts, which totally changed up how you play gem grab. What about a different type of wall? I mean, you can sort of tell what it does from there. I mean, I'm guessing you can imagine by the name too. Honestly, the animation is more cool than I think showed the idea, but a wall that shows up occasionally going up and occasionally going down, maybe 30 seconds up, 30 seconds down, or 15-15, something like that. Be a weird change for snipers having cover, not having cover, or tanks having cover and then not having cover. But you know, you could change when you push up the map or not. Now, a lot of people suggest this, and it's an experience road. We have trophy road. A lot of people think we should have an experience road because trophy road isn't enough and leveling up in Brawl Stars is kind of meaningless. So they think, let's add experience road, which you could. You'd have slightly more rewards, but to be honest, I still think it doesn't make leveling up worth that much. And we actually got a confirmation from the team lead that they're not going to add an experience road. So while a lot of people probably keep suggesting this idea, despite that, it's not going to happen. Now, while we're not going to get an experience road, we do need a better trophy road, in my opinion. So what about this to motivate players? Basically, it's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. If you complete trophy road, you get a big reward, which in my opinion is a great idea. I know only about 1% of players have actually completed all of trophy road, slightly more than 1% according to the team lead. But while it seems like they don't really want to make trophy road that much better at the moment, I do think it would be a good idea to just have that pot of gold at the end, because even though they don't want to make individual awards like way better than other ones, just have something at the end to congratulate players on really being that hardcore veteran, and also to try to motivate players who are at, say, 12,000 trophies and no longer really have that many great rewards on trophy road, motivate them to have something to really push for. What about something to make throwers easier to use? Like this right here, having a more accurate hitbox description for when you attack would be really nice for throwers, because right now it just kind of averages them and goes, yeah, if you throw there, well, it'll hit there and some other places, but it'll hit there. That's not really what we want. Why don't you give us a more accurate description of where we're actually going to be attacking and whether someone will get hit or not? That'd be cool. Adding on to that, why don't we make Tick better? He's the most annoying brawler in the game, and as a thrower, his attack pattern is so random, and it's not satisfying to play as Tick or against Tick, because you never know when you're gonna get hit or going to hit them. So what about this idea for a rework right here, where the further away you throw your mines, the more spread out they will be, which means if you want to have your mines be a tighter pack, aka have more control of Tick's attack, you have to get in closer to your enemies, and you have to be not quite as spamming with your shots and just going from long range as far as possible, just throwing them away, because you know no matter what, you kind of got a random luck for hitting someone. But with this, there's going to be skill and actual trying to figure out what range exactly you want to be at least make Tick a more satisfying brawler to play and play against. You can even have potential dodge opportunities by getting in close to them. And similarly, it'd be really nice to know Piper's super as well. I mean, you could apply this to other brawlers as well, where they have some sort of splash damage attack, and we really don't know exactly where it's going to hit. Just like this example, it would be great to actually know. Another big problem in Brawl Stars is Wi-Fi. People are constantly complaining about not having good connection, and it's mostly because people are playing from all over the world, and it's hard to have them all be on the same server, at least, and have good connection. So what about this? Having a warning system of sorts for if your connection is not very strong at the moment, or at least tell us like, hey, you're likely to lag if you keep on going. We're not gonna stop you from playing, but you might lag. At least it'd be good to know before it happens. That way you can make a decision to try and get better Wi-Fi or just wait till later. Now here's something that would be convenient. A pass button. A button for you to call for a pass from your teammates in Brawl Ball. There's so many times in Brawl Ball where you know you have a chance to score the ball, but your ally who's behind you and doesn't see that there's no one in front of you, doesn't know to pass it to you. And a lot of times people just spin in a circle to try to convince their teammate, hey, you should pass it to me, but no one ever exactly knows what that means. So what about a button that calls for a pass? Now maybe the devs don't want to really add another button to the game, but to be fair, something like this would actually be really useful for Brawl Ball, and it would really improve everyone's experience, I would think. Another thing that would improve everyone's experience in Brawl Ball is something to help stop own goals. Now, while it seems like they don't want to add an invisible sort of wall on your goal where if you pass it against it, it bounces off, seems like they don't want to do anything like that. What about at least like this, where if you're going to own goal it, it at least shows up as like a red mark or something? That way people are like, hey, if your pass off the wall is not good, guess what? It's gonna be in the goal. It does happen sometimes. And while this wouldn't exactly stop it, it at least tells you how much of an idiot you're going to be before you do it. Now, I don't actually feel like that many people watch Brawl TV, and maybe this is why. What if we could actually choose what modes we want to watch? Personally, I think this would be great because, to be honest, since I never know what I'm going to get when I click on Brawl TV, it kind of makes me less likely to watch it. If I knew, like, hey, I want to watch a game in this mode because that's my favorite mode and I want to maybe improve, or I'm just bored and that's the mode I like to watch. But since I never know what I'm gonna get, it's just kind of random. I'm just like, why bother? Now, I know the team is pretty conflicted on whether to add stats into the game. Stuff like how many kills you got, how many times you've died, or even stuff like how much damage you did to the objective, or how many gems you carried or lost. Stuff like that. But what about more stats for your brawlers? And I don't mean like, you know, what is their exact range and reload speed? I mean stuff like this, where you can know exactly how many wins you have with each brawler. The same stuff you have on your profile, but put it for your brawlers. I do think that would be pretty cool. Not only would it show you like what your most played brawlers are, your least played brawlers are, but you know, just what brawlers are good for each mode, maybe. At least for you, that is. Now, this is a game mode I would love to see in Brawl Stars, and one that's in a lot of other MOBA type games, which Brawl Stars kind of is. And that's draft mode. Being able to draft what brawlers are on your team, and the enemy drafts brawlers for their team as well, so you can counter pick each other and pick your team comp. Now, I don't know the exact best way to do this draft, whether it's having each person select one or the other brawler and then giving the brawler that was not selected to the opponent, or having like even multiple options, like 3 options, like the Clash Royale new draft system. Something like that could be good too. Now, there's a lot of really cool potential new mode ideas that you all have thought. What about this? It's called Secret Leader, and this would be pretty new or unique to Brawl Stars. Kind of like Protect the Present, if you ever heard of that. Where basically, on each team, there's one person who you need to protect. If they die, basically you could lose. The goal is to kill that person, the enemy team, who is the secret leader. In this case, you kill them 2 times, and then you switch sides, or you win the match, or a new round starts. Something like that happens. But basically, you got to try to not give it away who the leader is, while also protecting them and making sure they don't die. Could be fun. And it's another game mode where El Primo can super into the enemy team and throw for you once again. Now, Clash Royale has a game mode from Brawl Stars in their game. Why don't we add Clash Royale into Brawl Stars? In this case, called Royale Clash, where essentially you're on a map that's like Clash Royale size, and you have to take out the enemy's towers, which, if you want to simplify it in Brawl Stars terms, imagine each tower is one of the huge robots that shoot out rockets. but they just stand still. You gotta take them out. Sounds pretty simple, but with an enemy defending them and also attacking you at the same time, or your robots or towers or whatever you want to call them, it could get pretty hectic. Now, what about a new ticketed event mode? Because to be honest, I'm getting kind of bored of the current ones because there hasn't been any new ones in a long time and they're just really repetitive. What about this one called Kraken Chaos, where your goal is to take out the Kraken, kind of like boss fight, but the attacks are very different and the map is very different as well. Essentially, the Kraken has tentacles. First off, you can shoot the tentacles, which are the things that attack you, to sort of stop the attacks. But meanwhile, you can't just take out the tentacles, you gotta actually take out the Krakens. So while you can keep running around the map and avoiding the Kraken staying alive, you do actually have to take it out. Now, it's actually got some cool mechanics, like if the Kraken grabs you, if the Kraken grabs you with a tentacle, your teammates can shoot the tentacle to stop the Kraken from actually taking you. Or in another example, you can, if the Kraken is attacking your ship that you are on, you can shoot the tentacles to stop it from doing so and to not sink the ship you're on and not die. To be honest, this one sounds kind of complex and I'm not entirely sure how easy it would be to develop or not. Not like I would have any idea, but it sounds like it could be fun. If you enjoyed this video, definitely check out some more great ideas to improve Brawl Stars right over there. Like some of the best ideas for new brawlers and other game modes and even more additions to improve the game. That is gonna be it for this one though. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed and I'll catch you later.